Hi guys, 12th of December 2019. We are running the US cash session for 1 hour and 15 minutes. We are post S&P, we are post ECB, we are post Trump news, which pumped market higher, but we are well ahead of the end of the UK election, right? So we are awaiting for the exit polls around 3 a.m. And we are going to discuss right now European Central Bank rate decision. Okay, we are going to discuss Christina Lagarde press conference, and during summary of the day later, towards the end of the US cash session, we are going to try to make the summary of the day with the expectations into the UK elections. So without further ado, let's go straight into the euro-dollar chart. All right, guys. So euro was trying to go higher, continue to what we've seen yesterday post FOMC, right? But I think there are two levels where we have a chance to see very active bears. Either that's gonna be around 1155, so that's where we are right now, right here. So let's try to place the line, the green line. All right, I'm talking about the high from the 23rd of August. All right, that high over here. Let's make it green. So what we've seen during the first few minutes when the press conference of Christina Lagarde starts, we've seen spike higher, we hit the stops, and then the rejection is going on, right? So what's Christine Lagarde said, or what overall ECB view is? So the ECB economic projections, so we are talking about the GDP for 2019 being raised by 1/10 to 1.2, previous 1.1, 2020 1.1, previous 1.2, so lower it, 2021 1.4, previous 1.4, in line, and 2022 1.4, right? In regards to the inflation, 2019 no change, 1.2, 2020 a little bit higher by 1/10, 1.1, previous 1, 2021 1.4, previous 1.5, 2022 1.6. all right. It's also worth to mention that we got what we got earlier today. It was the German final CPI month-to-month minus 0.8. all right. Also we get some comments from the IFO Institute, as far as I remember, and confirming that Germany are in the recession. all right. So there was something like stop hunt, and the rejection is going on. Of course, taking into the consideration what happened yesterday. And now, what happened yesterday? Yesterday, if you remember, we took out post-ISM and post-NFP highs, right? So right now, what is going on? We are testing, as you can see right here, right now, we are testing post-ISM high, and the market is trying to react. But those three upper shadows here on the hourly chart might be a little bit scary. I'm not gonna be surprised in that case if we are going to see levels a little bit lower. Now, where lower, right? So I like the break of these levels, right? So it's like the whole zone, right? Non-farm payrolls, ISM, but we are talking in that case about the post non-farm payrolls high. So we are talking about the levels close to 110.95, 110.90. And yes, I really do like from the eventually bulls perspective. All right, bears, that was possibility, especially after the upper shadow, and it was very, very well visible on the 15-minute chart, right? It was very well visible. If you remember the setup on the cable based on the top of the megaphone, so here is similar, right? So we had this highs, right? Then market spiked higher, took the stops, but the close compared to the high, that was the initial setup. Currently right now, taking into the consideration the opening and the risk is something around 2 hours, or maybe a little bit more than 2 hours. But the bigger picture on the euro dollar is still to the downside, right? But we cannot rule it out one thing, that we might see attempt to hit a little bit more stops, right, towards the end of the year. And based on what I think that we might see, look at the whole price action here, right, and try to compare with the price action here, all right, and maybe try to compare with this price action here. This is maybe not the best example, right? So what I'm talking about, right? If we had, so the current shorts, it's okay, right? But with this, again, what is important to understand that I do expect overall euro dollar lower, right? But I'm trying to figure it out if we are going to go higher from here, right? If the post non-farm payrolls, post ISM are going to hold and the bulls are going to try to take over again, what might happen, okay? So in that case, I went through this situation, all right? So let's assume that move was this one, right? And then that's what we are going to see, all right? So in that case, all right, here we have move equal in size. So in case we are going to get move equal in size here, it's gonna to bring us towards 1280, okay? Well, so let's have a look what we have. We have first move, right? Tiny pullback, second move, tiny pullback, and this tiny pullback, yes, should reach the levels we were discussing post ISM, post non-farm payroll. Post ISM right now, post payrolls closer to the figure, right? Closer to 111, 110.90, all right? And then the last rally, so suddenly we might see the levels we were discussing a second ago, somewhere closer to 1260, 1280 on euro dollar, and that's eventually, if we are going to continue to the upside, where I'm going to try to take another, try to find another short setup on euro dollar. Well, of course, there are going to be time to discuss even higher time frames and what to expect into 20, right? I can just briefly mention that as long as we are below 115, 117, of course, from here it's still like 3 to 5 figures, right? But as long as we are below here, right? As long as we are below, then I see euro dollar going lower, right? Going lower. First, somewhere close to 105, then parity, and then 92.90 again, as long as below these levels. All right. So, trying to summarize from intraday perspective, watching carefully 111, 110.90. If you are a bull, right? If you are a bear, that's supply currently, and right now we are in the middle of the nowhere. So if you are not short, then wait eventually for a little bit of the rally from that level. Okay. So guys. Again, don't forget summary of the day later today. All right. Don't be trapped. Don't be trapped today during this next few hours. And we will discuss Swiss National Bank. We will get back to ECB. We will talk about the Trump, as his comments about the China deal push stocks higher to the new high. I'm waiting for the end of the day. Also dollar yen looks interesting, finally approaching the levels we were discussing for almost whole week last week, and we will try to during that short meeting we'll try to talk about the possible scenarios on the cable. Thank you very much, have a good one, and see you guys, see you around.